Well, you can find some good deals on car parts at recycle yards, but criminals find so much more at your expense, and you won't know it's happened until it's much too late. Tonight on Special Assignment, Kim Holland tells you the one thing you should do to protect yourself.
There's paperwork on every floorboard in here. Richard Lopez's healthcare information, vehicle registration information for Jesus Rodriguez. Tom Wagner lives in Rio Rancho. Here's his phone number, address.
These auto recycle yards hold what should be the closely kept secrets of New Mexicans. You'll find thousands of dead and mangled vehicles in rows for people to pick through for parts. But you'll also find something else here.
It's shocking, you know.
When cars are hauled off after a wreck or they've just hit the end of the line, whatever's left inside gets hauled away too.
People leave their family albums, they leave their social security cards, they leave old checks.
That personal information can make its way to salvage yards and fall into the wrong hands.
Identity theft. If people don't take that information with them or they don't go down to the tow yard to retrieve it, they're leaving themselves open to identity theft.
We visited the largest auto recycle yard in the state, You Pull and Pay on South Broadway in Albuquerque.
Any material that comes in the car, the goal is to get the car cleaned out.
The manager says personal items are pulled from each vehicle just before they're stripped of any toxic parts and drained of any fluids. But we decided to check for ourselves. We had no problem finding what people work so hard to protect.
Wow, it's got all his medical information here, his address, all his personal information. This is somebody's paycheck. This is Workforce Connections card with all their personal information right on the back.
About 1 out of every 10 cars had personal items inside, from keepsakes,
I think they'd want this picture.
to cell phones.
Wow. Imagine if you could get a new battery for this and get this working, all the personal information that's stored on this phone.
To sensitive information.
This is Presbyterian paperwork with name, age, in the emergency room. This is something you would not want out on the public.
We even saw paperwork blowing through the lot. This is Kim Holland. We did our best to track down the people whose names were on the documents.
The number you dialed has been changed. Disconnected.
We did find Delbert Secatero.
Is that your stuff?
Yes.
He sold an old pickup in March. He forgot to clean it out before it was towed away.
I tried to call the people that towed my vehicle. I tried to call them back and ask them, if I can just get the information back at least. And they told me there was nothing in there when we towed it.
Unless under a police hold, the law says a towing company must allow the owner to remove personal property. At Duggar's, they only clean it out if they get the title. Otherwise, it's off to the yards with whatever's left inside.
I don't want to shift the burden of responsibility for that personal item to us.
As for the stack of paperwork we found in You Pull and Pay's lot,
We're happy that you bring those kind of things to our attention.
Secatero said he's still missing jewelry and a lot more documents he knows were in the truck.
I sure appreciate it, though, just for giving me back this information.
Bottom line, it's up to the owner of the car to remove any personal belongings inside. As for the documents we collected, we made sure they did not fall into the wrong hands. Kim Holland, KRQE News 13.
Go to KRQE.com or our KRQE app to see what law enforcement does when they come upon valuable information in a vehicle and plan to tow it, plus your rights and what the law says about getting your personal information from a towed vehicle.